Hello everyone. I welcome you all to Tech Mahindra's Q4
Recording in
FY22
progress.
results press conference. Before we begin, I would like to inform you that there will be a Q&A session at the end of the conference. You can share your questions on the Q&A tab and we will take them one by one. In case you drop out, please rejoin using the same invite link. Today we have with us Tech Mahindra's Managing Director and CEO, CP Gurnani, Chief Financial Officer, Milind Kulkarni, and President BFSI, HLS, and Corporate Development, Vivek Agarwal. Without any further delay, over to you, CP.
Thank you, Abhilasha. Good evening, good morning. I know most of you are in the evening zone, so good evening again. Thank you. Welcome to Tech Mahindra Q4 22 and the financial year 22 results. I know that virtual has become a way of life, and we at Tech Mahindra have now started embracing what is called the hybrid world. So let's look back. A year ago, when I met many of you, I did share with you that we have launched our new framework, which is Next.Now. Next was all about business transformation, value transformation, cultural transformation, digital transformation, and now was more to reflect the urgency and the agility. I think both for our employees, internally, and for our customers, I think it has been a wonderful Next.Now year. The Next.Now year saw us taking some bold steps, some new age technologies, and many of you participated with me in Hyderabad and my colleagues in Barcelona when we launched Metaverse. But all I can say is that TechMverse, Metaverse, AI, data, 5G, and cloud, and the connected solutions all coming together in TechMverse to bring Next.Now for our clients has been the theme and the achievement of this 1 year. Overall, I can only say that started the year with just a little above 5 billion, closing the year just about 6 billion. Very, very happy to see the progress. This is, as per Rohit Anand, our incoming new CFO, he likes to take, give us a pat on the back. He believes this is the best performance in terms of growth we have had in 7 years. So anyway, I'm sure when we interact with him, he will give us more details. But the reality is it is a growth of 17.3% year on year. The growth overall reflects our commitment to clients, commitment to employees, commitment to the value that we create for the customers, and commitment to Next.Now. And I'm happy that CME was always the North Star. They are doing very well. BFSI joined the $1 billion plus club. So welcome to the Agarwal and his BFSI team to the $1 billion plus for Tech Mahindra. Overall, I can say I'm satisfied with the continuing pace of large deal wins. We again are reporting about $1 billion of large deals. Generally, the four-pronged strategy that the company communicated to many of you, company with a purpose, we continue to bring laurels to the organization by winning hearts and winning almost every medal that had to be won for ESG. I think more than this, it motivates Tech Mahindra 150,000 associates. The second part was more about, the product platforms. The company continues to invest in products and platform, and these platforms are more geared towards business process as a service. As a matter of fact, one of the large deals that we have won is really for this year is actually a large contract from a bank where we will be running some of their processes as process as a service. So I think the product and platform strategy seems to be working reasonably well. The third area where we have invested heavily is on people to be ready for hybrid working, people to upskill themselves, people to be able to work from their hometowns. It doesn't matter whether it is a Vijayawada or a Vizag, it doesn't matter if it's a Warangal or a Hyderabad. The point is, we invested in tier 2 cities, we opened 15 new centers, we invested in global delivery centers. Our Mexico centers have gone up from, because the delivery is happening from at least 4 new centers in Latin America, 4 new centers in Europe. So overall, I can say is the global delivery center model is working very well. And now we have people who represent 95 countries who come to work for Tech Mahindra. The fourth focus was on performance. We clearly do know that culture of Tech Mahindra as a family company, but we also now have brought in a performance management system, which is basically online, which is basically defines your BSC or what is known as Measure What Matters, OKI, and we do it on a much more regular basis than only 1 or 2 appraisals in a year. I think that focus on performance has worked very well. So overall, I can say, when I look at the programmatic approach that we have taken last year, I feel a lot more confident about FY23. So Q4 headlines, Milind, instead of me sharing, my request is, why don't you share? I don't know if Abhilasha, you queued up Rohit or Milind for sharing all the quarterly results. At the same time, I'm also happy to say that we have continued with our dividend policy. We had earlier, if you all recall, we had declared 15 rupees as an interim dividend. The board has recommended a final dividend of rupees 30 per share. So you all spoke about capital allocation, 45 rupees continued, and we have spent as part of our capital allocation reasonable amounts on M&A. So overall, great foundation, continued journey on Next.Now, very, very confident about the fiscal year 2023. And I know there's a usual commentary about Ukraine, Russia, or the Fed increasing rates. I'm sure we will cover it, and when we individually talk to you. Thank you again. Thank you for attending the call. Handing over Milind to take us through the Q4 and overall results.
Okay, thank you, CP, and good evening to everyone. Let me take you through the Q4 financial. Our turnover for the quarter was $1608 million, which is up 5.4% in constant currency terms. The growth was, more or less balanced. Growth in the enterprise segment was about 5.8%. Growth in CME was about 4.8%. Apart from that, the deal win in this quarter again crossed 1 billion, and that's the second time in last 2 years. Our overall deal win for the year are about $3 billion, up by about 50% over the previous year. Okay. The EBIT for the quarter was about $12 million, marginally lower as against $228 million in Q3. The EBIT margin was about 17.2. There was a pressure coming from a lower utilization by about 100 bips, and because of the higher salary and retention costs, which we have seen because of the supply pressure on the supply side. Okay. Then we had an additional charge on account of depreciation and amortization as a result of additional investment that we have had in the last quarter on plant and machinery. I mean, basically the hardware and software, and also because of the amortization in Q3 and Q4. Okay. Now, some of these will actually part of this is a one-time charge, and so that will, as we go along, we should see benefit from that flowing in. Okay. So EBIT for the quarter was about, as I said, EBIT was impacted by these two factors. Our other income for the quarter was about 42 million, higher compared to 30 million in quarter 3, and primarily contributed by a higher forex gain. We continue to follow our hedging policy consistently, and that's helped us to maximize forex gain during this year. The tax rate for the quarter, one of the redeeming feature was about lower at about 17.5%, and that is because of one-time reversal of tax provision, which is on account of SEZ related benefits. So the SEZ, because of the growth in the pickup in the investment, as well as our decision to move to a new tax regime where there are no SEZ benefits, the investment in plant and machinery in next 3 years will be available for the SEZ benefit reserves that we have created. And so the tax provision that we have created on a conservative basis on account of SEZ reinvestment reserves will not be required. So there is a reversal on that now. So our overall tax rate for the quarter is about 17.5%, which was 27% in Q3. Okay. So the net profit for the quarter is about 12.3%, an increase of 30 basis points over Q3. Okay. Our free cash flow for the quarter was about $111 million, 56% of that. Full year performance, we are almost touched $6 billion. We are at 5,998 million, a growth of about 17.3% over the previous year. Okay. During the year, communication business grew by about 17.2%, and enterprise business grew by about 17.4%. So both businesses have grown strongly. On the EBIT margin for the year, we have seen for the year it was at 14.5%, which is about 30 basis point improvement over the previous year. Okay. Our free cash flow for the full year stands at about $595 million, which is about 80% of our profit after tax. As CP said, the board has declared a final dividend of 30 rupees per share, which will take it to 45 rupees. Okay. So that's about the financial highlight for the quarter and for the year. Maybe Vilasha, we could open for question answers.
Before that, if Vivek would like to talk about the M&A
Sure.
strategy for the annually.
Thanks, Abhilasha. Just from a strategy perspective on M&A, as we've stated before, it's all about fulfilling white spaces in our capability stack and our offerings to our customers. Last 18 months has been we've been very busy in plugging a lot of gaps in our offering portfolio with a number of acquisitions which we've talked about before. I think as we go into FY23, we will be very focused on integrating those acquisitions, driving synergy, being able to take new propositions and new service offerings to our clients, our 1,200 clients globally. That'll be the primary focus from an M&A corporate development perspective. We will be selective when it comes to new acquisitions, and any gaps in our portfolio which are still out there. We will look to plug those gaps from a strategy perspective.
Thank you, CP, Milind, and Vivek.